A. Berean 2025, Study 1.2, the pronunciation or transliteration of our Creator's name. Shalom. This is the second in a series of studies on the subject of our Creator's name. 1. Background. Vav or Wa. In Hebrew, 4 of the letters of the Hebrew alphabet double as consonants and vowels. These are Aleph, He, Vav or Wa, and Yod. In modern Hebrew, the sixth letter of the alphabet is the letter Vav, which as a consonant has a V sound. However, it can also take on the O or the U vowel sounds. There is some controversy over this. There are those who believe in ancient Hebrew the sixth letter was a Wa and had a W sound, along with the O or the U vowel sounds. I believe the sixth letter was a Wa, and there is evidence for this. One piece of evidence is that Arabic, which is almost identical to Hebrew in its alphabet, does not have a Vav, it has a Wa, and it is pronounced W. Another piece of evidence is the spelling for the English letter W. In English we say double U, that is, two U's, U, or U. It is possible that the V sound may have come from a Germanic European influence. I use W rather than V for the sixth Hebrew letter. Yahuwah is our Creator's Shem, his name. It is also his Zekah, spoken memorial or witness. Calling on his name, the prophet Yoel states, "And after this it shall be that I pour out my spirit on all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your old men dream dreams, your young men see visions. And also on the male servants and on the female servants I shall pour out my spirit in those days. And I shall give signs in the heavens and upon the earth, blood and fire and columns of smoke. The sun is turned to darkness and the moon into blood before the coming of the great and awesome day of Yahuwah. And it shall be that everyone who calls on the name Yahuwah shall be delivered. For on Mount Zion and in Jerusalem there shall be an escape, as Yahuwah has said, and among the survivors whom Yahuwah calls. Everyone who calls on the name of Yahuwah shall be delivered." Calling on his name. The Apostle Kepha quotes the prophet Yoel in Acts 2:17 through to 21. The Apostle Shaul quotes the prophet Yoel in Romans 10:13. Everyone who calls on the name of Yahuwah shall be delivered. Academically, translation is the art of expressing the meaning of a word in the source language in the alphabet of the target language. With a translation, the meaning of the word is the same, but the phonetic sound is different. Transliteration is the art of expressing the phonetic sound of a word in the source language in the alphabet of the target language. With transliteration, the phonetic sound of a word is the same, but the word has no meaning. Verbs, adjectives, and common nouns are translated from the source language into the target language to maintain meaning. Proper nouns, people's names and place names, are never translated. They are transliterated directly from the source language into the target language to maintain as far as possible the phonetic sound. Words of any type are never substituted with another term. Calling on his name. If I want to call upon a name to be saved, then I require the correct phonetic sound. I require a transliteration, not a translation, and certainly not a substituted term. I require a proper noun, not a common noun. The name of our Creator is a Hebrew proper noun, a name, which must be transliterated directly from the source language, Hebrew, into the target language, English. There is much debate over the correct pronunciation, transliteration, of our Creator's name. I respect any competent and sincere attempt to correctly pronounce our Creator's name. Any competent and sincere transliteration is better than a deliberate substitution. This study is not intended to disparage people who have arrived at a different pronunciation to that presented here. This study will consider the grammatic links and wordplay in Shemot 3, 14 and 15, the phrase Ani Hu, I am he, Lě'ah's statement in Bereshit 29:35, which is an explicit naming wordplay, Theophoric names in the Tanakh, and specifically the grammar of Yahu, which is Yah plus Hu, Hebrew language wordplays or rhyme in the Tehillim. Based upon the grammatic links between H1961, H1931, H1933 and H3068, and based upon H1933 where the first, second and third person imperfect forms of the verb have a dagesh forte in the wa, that is a double wa. I conclude the name of our Creator is pronounced, transliterated, with 3 syllables, and the contracted form is Yah. The full form is Yahuwah. 2. The grammatic links and wordplay in Shemot 3, verses 14 and 15. And Elohim said to Moshe, Ayeh Asher Ayeh, I am that which I am. And he said, Thus you shall say to the children of Israel, Ayeh, I am, has sent me to you. And Elohim said further to Moshe, Thus you are to say to the children of Israel, Yahuwah, Elohim of your fathers, the Elohim of Abraham, the Elohim of Yitzhak, and the Elohim of Yaakov has sent me to you. This is my Shem, name, forever, and this is my Zekah, spoken memorial or witness, to all generations. Shemot 3:14. You shall say to the children of Israel, Ayeh has sent me to you. Shemot 3:15. You are to say to the children of Israel, Yahuwah has sent me to you. Our Creator gave Moshe 2 names, Ayeh and Yahuwah, yet they are related. The pronunciation of our Creator's name is an explicit naming wordplay on the words Ayeh and Yahuwah. H1961 H means to be, to breathe, to exist. H1933 Yahuwah means to be, to breathe, to exist. These words have an almost identical meaning, as they are related through their common root word AHL097, hey hey, and they have a phonetically similar infix, yod and wa. If we look at the first person imperfect form of the verb, H1961, I exist and will continue to exist, and look at the third person imperfect form of the verb, H1933, he exists and will continue to exist, we see that the third person imperfect form of the verb H1933 has the same consonants as our Creator's name. Shemot 3:14 and 15 is a wordplay between the first person masculine singular imperfect of the verb H1961. The third person masculine singular imperfect of the verb H1933, and our Creator's name, the proper noun H3068. Considering H1961 and H1933, in the first, second, and third person masculine singular imperfect. From Palim.com, for H1961 Yahweh, we find the following verb conjugations. H1961 Yahweh, as a first person imperfect verb, is pronounced with 3 syllables. A-H-A, consonant vowel, consonant vowel, consonant vowel, consonant, meaning I exist, or I am, or I will be. From Palim.com, for H1933 Yahuwah active forms, we find the following verb conjugations. Note here the wa has a dagesh forte, indicating the wa is doubled. The dot in the wa is a dagesh forte, a strong dagesh, indicating the wa is doubled. Palim confirms this by presenting the word again with a double wa. Double vav in modern Hebrew. Palim is a modern Hebrew website. In modern Hebrew, the double vav indicates the vav is a consonant. Double wa in biblical Hebrew. In biblical Hebrew, the approach is different. The doubled letter is written out twice. The first letter marks the end of one syllable, and it may be given a silent shua. The second letter marks the beginning of the next syllable and carries the vowel of the original. H1933 Yahuwah, as a third person imperfect active form verb, is pronounced with 3 syllables and with a double wa. Yahweh, consonant vowel, consonant vowel consonant, consonant vowel consonant, meaning he exists, or he is, or he will be. From Palim.com, for H1933 Yahuwah passive forms, we find the following verb conjugations. Note again the wa has a dagesh forte, indicating the wa is doubled. H1933 Yahuwah, as a third person imperfect passive verb, is pronounced with 3 syllables and with a double wa. Yahuwah, consonant vowel, consonant vowel consonant, consonant vowel consonant. He exists, or he is, or he will be. Note these words are all pronounced with 3 syllables, and both forms of H1933 have a double wa. Palim.com gives us 2 binyam for the verb H1933 Yahuwah, pu'el and pl. If we consider our Creator's statement, Ayeh Asher Ayeh, I am that which I am, alongside the definitions of the various binyan, I think it is the pu'al we are looking at, passive voice, intensive action. So we are left with H1961 Haya binyan pa'al, future tense, Ayeh, consonant vowel, consonant vowel, consonant vowel consonant, 3 syllables, I exist. H1933 Yahuwah binyan pu'el, future tense, Yahuwah, consonant vowel, consonant vowel consonant, consonant vowel consonant, 3 syllables and a double Wah. He exists. Our Creator's statement in Shemot 3:14 and 15 is a wordplay between the first person masculine singular imperfect of the Pa'al verb H1961, the third person masculine singular imperfect of the Pu'al verb H1933, our Creator's name H3068. Our Creator's name is pronounced with 3 syllables, and the Wah has a Dagesh 40, indicating the Wah is doubled. Additional clues. The Jussive is a specific verb form, primarily used in the second and third person to express a desire, wish, or an indirect command. It is essentially a shortened imperfect form. In Bereshit, also known as Genesis 1, 3, and 14, we see the Jussive form of H1961. It has 2 syllables here, but we know this is the shortened form. An acope is the omission of the final sound of a word, as when cup of tea is pronounced cup of tea. In Koheleth, also known as Ecclesiastes 11:3, we see H1933, which has 3 syllables, but here the last syllable is not pronounced. Summary. H1961 Hayah means to be, to breathe, to exist. H1933 Yahuwah means to be, to breathe, to exist. These words have an almost identical meaning, as they are related through their common root word AHL097 Hey, and they have a phonetically similar infix Yod and Wah. Our Creator's statement in Shemot 3:14 and 15 is a wordplay between the first person masculine singular imperfect of the Pa'al verb H1961, the third person masculine singular imperfect of the Pu'al verb H1933, and our Creator's name, the proper noun H3068. Our Creator's name is spelt with a Dagesh 40 in the Wah, indicating the Wah is doubled, and his name is pronounced with 3 syllables. The Jussive and the acope terms confirm the 3 syllables. 3. The phrase Anihu, I am he. H1961 Hayah and H1933 Yahuwah are related through their common root word, hey. There are 2 spellings of H1933, Yahuwah and Yahuwah, and H1931, who, the third person masculine singular pronoun, has identical consonants as Yahuwah. Therefore, there is a link between Anihu, I am he, Ani Yahuwah, I am to be, to breathe, to exist. Ani Yahuwah, I am to be, to breathe, to exist. Ani Yodhe, I am our Creator. Anihu, I am he. See now that I am he, and there is no Elohim beside me. I put to death, I make alive. I have wounded, and I heal, and from my hand no one delivers. Who has performed and has done it, calling the generations from the beginning? I am Yahweh, the first, and with the last, I am he. You are my witnesses, declares Yahweh, and my servant, whom I have chosen, so that you know and believe me, and understand that I am he. Before me there was no El formed, and after me there is none. I I am Yahweh, and besides me there is no Saviour. I have declared and saved and made known, and there was no foreign mighty one among you. And you are my witnesses, declares Yahweh, that I am El. Even from the day I am He, and no one delivers out of my hand. I work, and who turns it back? Thus said 1. Yahweh, sovereign of Israel, and 2. His Redeemer, Yahweh Saviot. I am the first, and I am the last. Besides me there is no Elohim. Listen to me, O Yaakov, and Yisrael, my called. I am He, I am the first, I am also the last. Therefore my people shall know my name. Therefore they shall know in that day that I am He that does speak. Behold, it is I. Yahushua then, knowing all that would come upon him, went forward and said to them, Whom do you seek? They answered him, Yahushua of Nazareth. Yahushua said unto them, I am he. And Yehuda, who delivered him up, was also standing with them. As soon as he said unto them, I am he, they went backward and fell to the ground. I am he, the Aleph and the Tav, the beginning and the end, says Yahweh, who is, who was, and who is to come, the Almighty. And when I saw him, I fell at his feet as dead, and he placed his right hand upon me, saying, Do not be afraid, I am the first and the last, and I shall slay her children with death, and all the assemblies shall know that I am he, the one searching the kidneys and hearts, and I shall give to each one of you according to your works. I am the Aleph and the Tav, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. The phrase, I am he, refers to the one who said, I am the first, I am also the last, the one who is Elohim, the one whose name is Yahweh, the one who is both Yahweh, sovereign of Israel, and his Redeemer, Yahweh Saviot. In his answer to the high priest, our Messiah fulfilled his previous commitment by quoting King David's words and pronouncing our Creator's name, Yahweh. Again, in answering the high priest's question, our Messiah said, You said that I am he. The high priest understood our Messiah was claiming to be the voice at the burning bush. He was claiming to be Yahweh. That is why the high priest tore his clothes, accused our Messiah of blasphemy, and condemned our Messiah to death. Ani Hu equals Ani Eye, which equals Ani Yahweh. Summary: H1961 H and H1933 Yahuwah are related through their common root word Hey. There are two spellings of H1933, Yahuwah and Yahuwah. H1931 Hu, the third person masculine singular pronoun, has identical consonants as Yahuwah. Therefore, there is a link between Ani Hu, I am he, Ani Yahuwah, I am to be, to breathe, to exist. Ani Yahuwah, I am to be, to breathe, to exist. Ani Yahweh, I am our Creator. Our Creator's statement in Shemot 3:14 and 15 is a wordplay between the first person masculine singular imperfect of the Pa'al verb H1961 and the third person masculine singular imperfect of the Pu'al verb H1933, and our Creator's name, the proper noun H3068. Our Creator's name is spelt with a dagesh forte in the wa, indicating the wa is doubled. Our Creator's name is pronounced with 3 syllables. The Jussive and the Akopi terms confirm the 3 syllables. Shemot 3, 14 and 15 is a word play between the first person masculine singular imperfect of the verb H1961, the third person masculine singular imperfect of the verb H1933, the third person masculine singular pronoun H1931, and our Creator's name, the proper noun H3068. Our Creator's name is spelt with a dagesh forte in the wa, indicating the wa is doubled. Our Creator's name is pronounced with 3 syllables, and the middle syllable rhymes with hu. 4. Lě'ah's statement in Bereshit 29:35, which is an explicit naming wordplay. There are hundreds of names in the 5 books of Moshe, but only 52 are explained by explicit naming wordplays. These explicit naming wordplays often memorialized past events or anticipated future events, and rather than describing the character of the name-bearer, Israeli names often memorialized the faith of the parents who placed their confessions onto their children. Several explicit naming wordplays occur in Bereshit 29 and 30, where Yaakov's wives named their sons. Each son bore a name that recalled the mother's reaction to the birth of the son. Lě'ah named Reuben, Shimon, Levi, and Yehuda. These names memorialized Leah's sentiments about our Creator intervening on her behalf, or her wish that her fruitfulness would draw Yaakov closer to her. Rahel gave Bilhah to Yaakov. Rahel named Dan and Naphtali in vindication of her barrenness. Leah gave Zilpah to Yaakov. Leah named Gad in realization that Satan is oppressing her. Leah named Asher in acceptance of her situation. Leah named Issachar, recalling the mandrakes given as wages so that she could lie with Yaakov. Leah named Zebulun, recalling her wish that Yaakov would honor her. Rahel named Joseph, recalling her pleasure in finally giving birth herself. Lě'ah's statement in Bereshit 29:35 is an explicit naming wordplay. Odeh et Yodhe al ken kara shemu Yehuda. I will praise Yodhe, so she called his name Yehuda. Odeh means I will give praise or thanks. It is from the root word yada, meaning to throw, cast, to worship, to revere, to hold out one's hand, to bemoan or to praise. The aleph prefixed to the verb stem indicates first person singular future tense, meaning I will. Lě'ah's statement is an explicit naming wordplay on at least 4 levels. Yada, to worship, praise, lift up hands. Odeh, I will worship, note first person. Yodeh, he will worship, notice third person. Plus hey, a breath of life, equals Yehuda, he will worship, Yodhe, note the proper noun. Lě'ah's statement is an explicit naming wordplay on at least 4 levels. Yodhe, our Creator's name, plus Yada, to worship, praise, lift up hands, equals Yehuda, the name of the 4th son of Yaakov and the Israeli tribe named after him. Lě'ah's statement is an explicit naming wordplay on at least 4 levels. Yada, to worship, praise, lift up hands, plus hu, he, the third person masculine singular pronoun, equals Yahudah, the name of the fourth son of Yaakov and the Israeli tribe named after him. Lě'ah's statement is an explicit naming wordplay on at least 4 levels. Yod-Heh-Wah-Heh, our Creator's name, plus Dalet, the door, equals Yahudah, the name of the fourth son of Yaakov and the Israeli tribe named after him. Yahudah is the door to salvation. You worship what you do not know. We worship what we know, because the salvation is of the Yehudi. And many peoples shall come and say, Come, let us go up to the mountain of Yod-Heh-Wah-Heh, Shavuot, to the house of the Elohim of Yaakov, and let him teach us his ways, and let us walk in his paths. For out of Zion comes the Torah, and the word of Yod-Heh-Wah-Heh from Jerusalem. And many peoples and strong nations shall come to seek Yod-Heh-Wah-Heh, Shavuot, in Jerusalem, and to pray before Yod-Heh-Wah-Heh. Thus said Yod-Heh-Wah-Heh, Shavuot, in those days 10 men from all languages of the nations shall take hold, yes, they shall take hold of the edge of the garment of a man, a Yehudi, saying, Let us go with you, for we have heard that Elohim is with you. Lě'ah's statement in Bereshit 29:35 is an explicit naming wordplay on at least 4 levels. Lě'ah's statement is an explicit naming wordplay on at least 4 levels. Note here the line-up with first person and third person terms. And she conceived again and bore a son, and said, Now, O day, Yod-Heh-Wah-Heh. So she called his name Yahudah, and she ceased bearing. Rearranging her statement, my Creator's name is Yod-Heh-Wah-Heh. Now I will praise him, Yada, and I will call my son Yahudah. Note 3 syllables. 5. Theophoric names in the Tanakh, and specifically the grammar of Yahu, which is Yah plus Hu. H3050 Yah is a standalone word which refers to our Creator's full name. Tehillim 113. Praise Yah, praise, O servants of Yod-Heh-Wah-Heh, praise the name of Yod-Heh-Wah-Heh. Blessed be the name of Yod-Heh-Wah-Heh, now and forever. Clearly, Yah is a shortened form of our Creator's full name. Tehillim 115. The entire psalm speaks of giving praise to our Creator's full name, Yod-Heh-Wah-Heh. Then the psalmist says, the dead do not praise Yah, nor any going down to silence. But we bless Yah now and forever. Praise Yah. Clearly, Yah is a shortened form of our Creator's full name. Tehillim 89:8. Yod-Heh-Wah-Heh, Elohim of hosts, who is mighty like you, O Yah, and your trustworthiness is all around you. Clearly, Yah here is a shortened form of our Creator's full name. Tehillim 94. Yet they say Yah does not see, and the Elohim of Yaakov pays no heed. Here by synonymous parallelism, Yah is equated with the Elohim of Yaakov. 2 Shemuel. This is the explanation of a man's name, Yedidiah, the beloved of Yah. And it is clear the Yah refers to Yod-Heh-Wah-Heh. And David comforted Bathsheba his wife, and went into her and lay with her. So she bore a son, and he called his name Shalomo. And Yod-Heh-Wah-Heh loved him, and sent by the hand of Natan the prophet, and called his name Yedidiah, because of Yod-Heh-Wah-Heh. H3050 Yah is a standalone word which refers to our Creator's full name. The dot in the He is a mapik, which shows the He is a consonant to be pronounced. We know that there has been a tradition of hiding the pronunciation of our Creator's full name with the use of dummy vowels. However, there is no reason to suspect dummy vowels on the word Yah, as 1. The term is not banned from pronunciation by Rabbinic Judaism, and 2. There is no traditional substitute in Rabbinic Judaism. H3050 Yah is a standalone word which refers to our Creator's full name. Yahu is H3050 Yah plus H1931 Hu, he, the third person, masculine singular pronoun. Yahu is not a standalone word. It only occurs in theophoric names. Theophoric names with Yah. There is a group of Hebrew names which are composed of Yah plus a descriptive term. We only ever see this group of Hebrew names spelt with Yah. For example, Nehemiah. Theophoric names with either Yah or Yahu. There is another group of Hebrew names which are composed of either Yah or Yahu plus a descriptive term. For example, Zechariah or Zechariahu. The point is, Zechariah is the same person as Zechariahu. A few theophoric names which include Yah. A few theophoric names which include either Yah or Yahu. The key point is, Lě'ah is the same person as Eliyahu. Jeremiah is the same person as Jeremiyahu. Zechariah is the same person as Zechariahu. Zephaniah is the same person as Zephaniahu. Netanyah is the same person as Netanyahu. H3050 Yah is a standalone word and a contracted form of our Creator's full name. Yah gives us one syllable of our Creator's full name. Yahu is not a standalone word, and it only occurs in theophoric names. Yahu is Yah plus Hu, third person masculine singular pronoun. H1931 is grammatically linked with H1961 and H1933. Yahu gives us two syllables of our Creator's full name. 6. Putting it all together. 1. Our Creator's name, Yahweh, is a wordplay on the two names given in Shemot 3:14 and 15. Ahiyeh, first person masculine singular imperfect verb. Yahuwah, third person masculine singular imperfect verb. 2. It has the same consonants as Yahuwah. 3. It has a dagesh forte in the wa, a double wa, just as in H1933 first, second, and third person masculine singular imperfect verbs. 4. It is composed of three syllables, just as H1933 and H1961 first, second, and third person masculine singular imperfect verbs. 5. It is a wordplay on Yahu, which is Yah plus Hu. 6. It is a wordplay on H1931 Hu and on the two spellings of H1933, Hawa and Hawa, as in Ani Hu, which equals Ani Hawa, which equals Ani Hawa, which equals Ani Yodhe Wahe. 7. Lě'ah's statement in Bereshit 29:35 is a wordplay on our Creator's name. Yada, to praise or worship. Odi, I will praise, first person common singular imperfect verb. Yode, he will praise, third person masculine singular imperfect verb. Yahuda, Hebrew proper noun. 8. Our Creator's name is a Hebrew proper noun. It is not a Hebrew verb. Therefore, its vowels will differ from the vowels of Yahuwah. Our Creator's name has A vowels, not E vowels, and they are long A vowels based upon Haya, Hawa, Ya. 9. The first syllable, there is a kamatz gadol under the yod. 10. The second syllable rhymes with hu. There is a kibbutz under the hey. There is a silent shua under the first wa. 11. The third syllable, there is a kamatz gadol under the second wa. This study concludes the correct pronunciation, transliteration of our Creator's name is the contracted form H3050, one syllable, consonant, vowel, consonant, kamatz under the yod, mapik in the hay, pronounced ya. The full form H3068, dagesh forte in the wa, a double wa, therefore 3 syllables, consonant, vowel, consonant, vowel, consonant, consonant, vowel, consonant, kamatz under the yod, kibbutz under the hay, silent shua under the first wa, kamatz under the second wa, pronounced Yahuwah. 7. Hebrew language wordplays or rhyme in the Tehillim. Tehillim 118 verse 25. Ana Yahuwah Hosiyana, Ana Yahuwah Hatzlikana. Tehillim 110 verse 2. Mate Ozeka Yeshlak Yahuwah Metzion Rede Bekerev O Ye Veka. Tehillim 95 verse 1. Leku Ne Rena La Yahuwah Ne Rea Lesur Yesh Enu. Tehillim 149 verse 1. Hallelujah Sheru La Yahuwah Sheir Kadash. 8. Conclusion. I respect any competent and sincere attempt to correctly transliterate our Creator's name. Any competent and sincere transliteration is better than a deliberate substitution. In this study, I conclude. This study concludes the correct pronunciation or transliteration of our Creator's name is the contracted form Yah, the full form Yahuwah. Segolah, treasured possession. Then shall those who fear Yahuwah speak to one another, and Yahuwah listens and hears, and a book of remembrance be written before him of those who fear Yahuwah and those who think upon his name. And they shall be mine, said Yahuwah Sabaoth, on the day that I prepare a Segolah. And I shall spare them as a man spares his own son who serves him. Then you shall again see the difference between the righteous and the wrong, between the one who serves Elohim and the one who does not serve him. Looking for the blessed expectation and esteemed appearance of our great Elohim and Saviour, Yahushua Messiah, who gave himself for us to redeem us from all Torahlessness and to cleanse us for himself a people, his Segolah, ardent for good works. King Dawid prays in the assembly. And Dawid blessed Yahuwah before all the assembly. And Dawid said, Blessed are you, Yahuwah, Elohim of Yisrael, our Father, forever and ever. Yours, Yahuwah, is the greatness, the power, and the comeliness, the preeminence, and the excellency, because of all that is in the heavens and in the earth. Yours is the reign, Yahuwah, and you are exalted as head above all. And the riches and the esteem come from your presence, and you rule over all, and in your hand is power and might, and in your hand to make great and to give strength to all. And now, our Elohim, we thank you and praise your comely name. Baruch Habab Bashem Yahuwah. Blessed is he who is coming in the name of Yahuwah. Tehillim 118. Pray, O Yahuwah. Please save us now, I pray, O Yahuwah. Please send prosperity. Baruch Habab Bashem Yahuwah. We shall bless you from the house of Yahuwah. Yahu 21 and Yohanan 12. And the crowds who went before and those who followed cried out, saying, Hoshiana to the son of David, Baruch Habab Bashem Yahuwah, Hoshiana in the highest. Yahu 23. Yerushalayim, Yerushalayim, killing the prophets and stoning those who are sent to her. How often I wished to gather your children together, the way a hen gathers her chickens under her wings, but you would not. See, your house is left to you laid waste. For I say to you, from now on you shall by no means see me, until you say, Baruch Habab Bashem Yahuwah. Note, we must speak our Creator's name. List of references.